I think the Democrats must pick and choose their battles. There's going to be so much on day one for us to be appalled by. But I think when it comes to these cabinet positions and others, the Democrats should hold the line. They should make sure that these nominees are vetted properly, and then we can question whether or not they should succeed.
So, Congressman Crockett, who do you think that the Democrats in the Senate, your colleagues in the Senate, should really fight on?
I definitely think Tulsi.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, absolutely.
You didn't overlap with her, but former Democratic member of the House.
Yeah, no, but she is a clear danger. I think when we're talking about whether or not we are going to be more vulnerable or less, when it comes to like our international security, I definitely think we've got to have really, really qualified people. I think some of these other positions, you know what, the agency can kind of run on its own. And even if it's somebody who's learning on the job, that's okay. But when you're starting to talk about our national security, something that we should all be concerned about, especially when we know that Iran supposedly had a hit out on President Trump, I think that this is something that we need to make sure that we focus on.
Do you know something about do you have some inside information about her that you want to share?
That's been reported. But wait a minute. We're going to take a quick break. I want to get that's a great segue because we're going to come back. We're going to talk about why some Republicans, and at least one top Republican, is calling Trump's pick to head the intelligence agencies a Russian, Iranian, Syrian, and Chinese sympathizer.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Clevy, and it is nice to meet you. Let's dive right into this one.
People, including Tulsi Gabbard, have backgrounds that would never make them eligible for any government post, let alone for secretaries of these important government agencies. But I do think there are a couple things going on. First, I have to comment, when you put up all those faces, it was 1,000 shades of white. Have you noticed that? Remember,
I actually thought as I was reading them, we should certainly circle a few of them so that we can say this is the one I'm talking about now.
Yes, exactly. So here we have a little bit more diversity in the slide that you're showing. But the first one, which was the major characters, yes, it's 1,000 shades of white. Secondly, there is a certain level of dysfunction and catastrophe that will sink these people. What happens if there is a terrorist attack, God forbid? What happens when there is a pandemic? The problem with being extreme, irresponsible, ignorant is when bad stuff happens, there's no one to blame but you. So the good news is that these people may not get everything they want. The bad news is a lot of bad stuff may happen to a lot of innocent people.
Any of these individuals lead. Obviously, the number one thing we know, it's not their qualifications. It's their loyalty to the president. And we also know, just given the way the president has stacked the White House team, starting with Stephen Miller, who was an architect of Project 2025, that's really going to be the key, is will these individuals follow what the White House tells them in implementing the plans of Project 2025?
He's not the only one. Russ Vought, late on Friday, was named OMB director in charge of the budget. He was one of the lead architects of Project 2025. They were just not telling the truth when they said that Project 2025 had nothing to do with.
Russ led this office in the first term, number one. Number two, there are a lot of things in the Project 2025 that are just simply non-controversial. I mean, one of the things he's most passionate about is just reducing the size of government. A pretty standard Republican position going back decades. I think Trump is not getting enough credit here for building an ideologically diverse cabinet. When you got everybody from Russ Vought, who's very conservative, all the way over to the pick for labor secretary as a supporter of the PRO Act, and somehow Randy Weingarten is happy about it. I mean, what he has done is, which makes me squeamish, to be candid. And so what he has done, though, is put together an ideologically diverse group of people to sit in a room and help run the government. And that's kind of how he won. His coalition was kind of ideologically diverse that elected decades. I think Trump is not getting enough credit here for building an ideologically diverse cabinet. When you got everybody from Russ Vought, who's very conservative, all the way over to the pick for labor secretary as a supporter of the PRO Act, and somehow Randy Weingarten is happy about it. I mean, what he has done is, which makes me squeamish, to be candid. And so what he has done, though, is put together an ideologically diverse group of people to sit in a room and help run the government. And that's kind of how he won. His coalition was kind of ideologically.
Department of National Intelligence. This is not a place for a Russian, Iranian, Syrian, Chinese sympathizer. DNI has to analyze real threats. Are we comfortable with someone like that at the top of our national intelligence agencies?
Yeah, and we can't forget some Republicans too, right? It's not just Democrats, also establishment neocons like Nikki Haley. They're fear-mongering and boo-hooing and crying too, right? So we can't forget about them as well.
Former Trump UN ambassador and presidential candidate Nikki Haley blasting Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's nominee for Director of National Intelligence. We are back with the roundtable. So, Donna, you heard what the Congresswoman said before the break. How hard are Democrats going to fight Tulsi Gabbard?
I don't know. She deserved to have a hearing. She deserved to be vetted. She deserved to have the most strenuous background check. If the TSA rumors are true that they looked at a suspicious pattern of travel, that will come up in the vetting process. Look, I served inside the DNC with Tulsi Gabbard. I know
She
her.
was a what? She was like co-chair?
She was a vice chair.
Vice chair.
We were both vice chairs.
Your colleagues. You worked side by side
She's
together.
a lieutenant colonel. I respect Tulsi Gabbard. I may disagree. I disagree with her choices. I disagree with everything in terms of where she's at now. But she deserved to have a very thorough background check.
I mean, she could get a Democratic vote or two, no? I mean, like Bernie Sanders.
She represented Hawaii. I don't know if she'll get the support of Democrats, but she should have a thorough background check, like everybody else.
But, Rich, what about the way she's hammered Trump? I mean, not that long ago.
Well, I mean, look.
I mean,
so Marco Rubio did too.
Did he? No, but that was longer ago.
Right,
This was while Trump was president. The Soleimani assassination, which Trump thinks is one of his big national security accomplishments, and a lot of people agree. You know, she said it was unconstitutional and an act of war.
Okay, fine. That's what she said. But today she's saying something different, and she's resolved
Is she saying
those
something
different.
different
She's
about
resolved those different. Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah.
But one thing I would highly would suspect is that you wouldn't rise to a rank of an 05 lieutenant colonel if our intelligence agencies thought that somehow she was some kind of Russian asset. Which, if people are going to level those charges, they better be darn sure that they're accurate. And is a very
Nikki
dangerous
Haley
thing
didn't say
to do.
that. She said that it was sympathizing.
But it's all insinuated, okay? It's this cutesy, hyperbolic nonsense coming out of the media and the Democrats who refuse to accept the fact that almost a majority of Americans have accepted Donald Trump and Trumpism. I think it's time to give this guy a month of peace.
We've had enough. I feel like during Biden's time, I feel like Trump really took his time to see what was going wrong. And he's coming with a plan. Do you understand? Like, he's coming with a plan. I don't know, but I look at that list and see people who have been through fire. And so you're definitely sure that they can take whatever heat is coming. They've been through fire. They're disruptors. I love the list. I love what he's doing. It is so diverse. I love it. Even if I saw Vivek, I smiled. I'm like, yo, he's up there. He was also among that list. And so when I saw him, I was like, yes, one person is there. You know, I still want to see two more from my list, join that cabinet. But it's amazing. And the 4 years haven't even started. And it's already looking so promising. Yo, I get you happy. The 4 years haven't even started, but it's already looking so promising. So promising. Honestly, it's been amazing, just seeing all of the outcomes and seeing someone who has a plan actually working towards that plan. Because you see, America, it has no choice but to be great again. I will see you in the comment section because you know that the video starts from there. Do have an amazing day and God bless you. Bye.